Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have November Little Box of Horrors to share with you.
Show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet.
If you haven't heard of what Little Box of Horrors is, it's a monthly collab between indie makers. They get together every single month and they create limited edition items like nail polish, nail care, earrings, hand care. Some of these items are capped, meaning that there's only a certain amount that are created, and once they sell out, that is it. You cannot get your hands on them anymore. Now, for Little Box of Horrors, I don't know if makers end up adding more product if something sells out. It is a much smaller collab, so I don't know if, I've never seen it happen. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. So if you do love something, make sure you get to the site when they open. Wishlisting starts the 18th of every month, and then shop opens on the 22nd, and then it closes on the 30th. And if I have those dates wrong, something will be on the screen and I'll have everything down below because I have so many dates of like launches in my head. Now, if you didn't guess it, Little Box of Horrors, the theme is always based on some sort of like paranormal, thriller, spooky, edgy sort of theme. For this month, the theme is Hi, editing Mercedes here. The theme is heavy metal. So makers will make product based off of that. I love Little Box of Horrors. I love smaller collabs because it gives you the opportunity to see smaller indie brands that are not on like our bigger collabs like Polish Pickup or Hella Handmade. That is how I learned about a lot of other brands before I started really getting into swatching because of these much smaller collabs. So you have Little Box of Horrors, there's another collab called Smidgen of Us, and I'm sure that there's other ones as well. But I know that those are the two most common smaller collabs that I'm familiar with and that I typically see occur on like a monthly basis. So if you're just getting into indie polish and you want to like venture out to see what other smaller brands are out there, Little Box of Horrors is great. If you've been into indie polish for a really long time and you typically only shop PPU or HHC, this is going to be great for you because you're going to be able to see what other makers and brands and businesses are out there. That's enough of me. Let's get into the lovely
First
swatches.
up, we have BCB Lacquers, and this is called Crawling in My Skin. These wounds, they will not heal. This one is priced at $13.75 and capped at 150 bottles. The inspiration is the Linkin Park album Hybrid Theory. It is a blackened red with a red, orange, gold shifting shimmer. Oh gosh, formulation, beautiful. This is 2 coats, full opacity. Nobody is going to need a third coat with this one. It is glorious. This is like winter vibes 1000% of the way. I am in love with the shimmer in this. It has red shimmer or some red shimmer, and if you don't know how I feel about red shimmer, I love it. It just always makes the polish look so stunning. You have some of that orange, some of that gold in there. It's just like fiery vibes. It's just enough shimmer to give you a pretty glow. I feel like if you're just getting into indie polishes and you're sort of nervous to like step out of that box with wearing all these crazy different finishes, this would be perfect for you because it reminds me of a beautiful cream polish with enough shimmer in there just to give you a little extra something. It's so mysterious and so vampy. It's lovely. Pictured are 2 coats of BCB Lacquers, Crawling in My Skin. These wounds, they will not heal, with a glossy top coat. Next up is Cracked Polish, and this one is called 7-String Viper. It's priced at $13 and capped at 200 bottles. It's described as a muted pink berry. I feel like this is like a mix between a really beautiful frosty polish but also a cream polish, and I don't know if it's because of the shimmer that's in this. I don't know, but whatever the case, I built this one up in 3 coats, full opacity. I'm going to recommend 3 on everybody. I love this glow from within that we get. We have this really beautiful like muted pink base, almost kind of dusty, and then the shifts are like this dark mysterious swirl of shadows. It's like this in between black and gray and a dark purple. It is so stunning. took me by surprise because I didn't think I was going to like this. I feel like pinks in me, like it just has to be a certain shade of pink. But what I love most is that we have this pretty glow with the mysterious deep shifts that we're seeing. It's beautiful, and I think it's a perfect polish to wear for the winter time if you don't want to wear vampy colors. Pictured are 3 coats of cracked polish, 7-string Viper with a glossy top coat. Next up is Gin and Berries, and this one is called Awesome, Good, Terrifying, Evil, priced at $13.50 and capped at 60 bottles. And the theme is, no, not the theme, the inspiration is it's inspired by a heavy metal movie poster. It is a blackened plum base that's loaded with holographic flakes and a touch of purple shimmer. Love a good, deep, dark, almost black polish base with hollow. I feel like I haven't run into one in a while. There was one that I absolutely loved from Zoya called Storm. That was like a straight, like pure black polish. And then there was another one, and I can't remember. I think maybe it was from Rain Dance Lacquer. I'm not positive. But there was another one that was a black polish with like hollow in there. But I don't feel like I run into these very often. So when I do, I'm in love. Love how we have that hint of purple within the base. Like we see it, it's dark. It definitely looks like it's a blackened plum base, but it, like to the eyes, at least to my eyes, not reading the description beforehand, I could tell that there was a little bit of something in the undertone of the polish, and obviously that's that plum. The holographic flakes in here are super holographic. I unfortunately didn't have time to be able to swatch this or show it off in the sunlight, but based off of what I'm seeing here with the rainbows pulling through, the rainbows are going to be there during the day in the sun, and it's going to look even more beautiful. And then just imagine that purple shimmer that's running throughout. Oh gosh, in the sunlight, it's going to be stunning. Pictured are 3 coats of Gin and Berries, Awesome, Good, Terrifying, Evil with a glossy top coat. Night Owl Lacquer is bringing us Moonlight and Madness, priced at $12 with no cap, and it's inspired by Trans-Siberian Orchestra's song by the same name. It is a deep midnight blue jelly filled with silver metallic flakies. Definitely a beautiful deep shade. I feel like it's in between purple and blue, so a really dark blurple shade. I decided to go in for 3 coats. It is a jelly polish, and I think it's true to that nature. Even with all of the components filled in here, I felt like that 3rd coat was needed to give us the base color that we're looking at. So I'm going to say 3 coats on everybody. The silver metallic flakies bring in so much light. It makes this polish look so like crisp and edgy, which I feel like goes with the theme. A thick glossy top coat with this one because it is heavily filled with your metallic flakies. These silver flakies almost look like they have a tint of pink in there. Am I seeing things? Maybe I am. I don't know. I feel like there's a tint of pink. This is going to be beautiful for the winter time. Pictured are 3 coats of Night Owl Lacquer, Moonlight and Madness with a glossy top coat. Peculiar Polish is bringing us Arcadia, priced at $13.50 and capped at 75 bottles. It's inspired by Sleep Token's new album cover for Even in Arcadia. This one is described as a black base with pearl white shimmer, pink reflective glitter, and electrifying pink multi-chrome flakies. So all the lovely sparkliness in this one. I love the base color for this polish. Even though it's described as a black base, it's loaded with that like white pearly shimmer, and I feel like it brings in a little bit of purple, a little bit of pink into the base color. I also did build this one up in 2 coats. I think if you have longer nails, you may want to go in for that 3rd coat, but I felt like for me, in 2 coats on my shorter nails, it just worked perfectly fine. Love the contrast between the pink multichrome flakies and the sort of like darker base, that like purpley black smoky base. This is going to be a beautiful polish for the winter time. Love the addition of the reflective glitter too, because you know I love my reflective glitter, but it's just going to sparkle literally in any kind of lighting. Pictured are 2 coats of Peculiar Polish, Arcadia with a glossy top coat. And Peculiar Polish is also bringing us Whiskey in the Jar, priced at $13.50 and capped at 50 bottles. And this one's inspired by Metallica. Metallica is an American heavy metal band. My fiance loves Metallica. He grew up listening to them, and they came to our town. Was it last summer or the summer before? And I ended up getting him tickets, and he had the time of his life. But this one is described as a charcoal gray shimmer packed with polish and has holographic in it as well. I built this one up in 3 coats. I'm going to say 3 coats is going to work best for everybody. This one is beautiful. Typically, I wouldn't love a like charcoaly gray base. Well, okay, let me take it back. I love the color gray, but I typically wouldn't go for like a reflective sort of gray, like a charcoal, like pearlescent type of gray. But this one has the shimmer and then just that touch of holographic, and it just like changes the vibe for me anyways. It is super sparkly. The rainbows from the holographic is beautiful. Like, too bad I couldn't show this off in the sunlight because I know it probably would have looked amazing. Pictured are 3 coats of Peculiar Polish, Whiskey in the Jar with a glossy top coat. Raindance Lacquer is bringing us Fear Inoculum, priced at $13.50 and capped at 50 bottles. This one's inspired by Tulle. It's described as a midnight blue base with purple micro glitter, fuchsia hex glitters, scattered hollow flakes, and orange magnetic pigment. So it has all the beautiful colors. Wait till you guys see. So first coat, I always like to do it without the magnet, and then I whip the magnet out for the second coat. I decided to go in for just 2 coats, but looking back, I could have done a 3rd coat, but at the time I felt like 2 was just okay. So honestly, let's just leave this up to preference, whether you do 2 or 3 coats. What I love most about this polish is the glitter. The micro glitter, the tiny little hex glitters, because they bring in so many different colors into the polish. There's like pink and purple and green and yellow. And then I also really enjoy the magnetic pull. I think I love that because of the contrast that you get from the dark blue base and then the orange pigment. It's just so pretty. Like, it's just such a pretty polish to stare at because of all the amazing colors. Pictured are 2 coats of Raindance Lacquer, Fear Inoculum with a glossy top coat. Raindance Lacquer is bringing us Schism. This one's priced at $13.50 and capped at 50 bottles. This one is inspired by one of the makers' favorite bands called Tulle. It is a sheer black base that's packed with a strong gold, red, aurora shimmer, and holographic flakies. This one I built up in 2 coats. It has such a beautiful formula. I love the glow that this one gives off. I love all of the fiery, warm shades that we're working with. And then the darker shifts, which I think that darker shift is coming from that black base. That's what it is. It's the black base. And then on top of that, or in the mix on the nail bed, are all of those beautiful colors with the shimmer, the red aurora, the gold, and then your holographic flakies that are in there, just so sparkly and pretty. This is so interesting. Like, I typically wouldn't love a polish that is like really strong leaning like yellowy gold, but because of this black base and how it's shifting and transforming it to have like this smoky vibe, I just love that. Pictured are 2 coats of Raindance Lacquer, Schism with a glossy top coat. We are also getting a 3rd polish from Raindance Lacquer. This is called Third Eye, priced at $13.50 and kept at 50 bottle. It's also inspired by Tulle. It is an indigo base with scattered holographic flakes and a ton of iridescent flakies that shift from cyan, aqua, blue, and purple. My blue polish lovers and my flaky polish lovers, like, this one's made for you. It is such a beautiful shade of blue. Oh my god, it's that shade of blue where you can take it into the summertime, but you can also wear it in the winter because it's bright enough for summer, but also subtle enough for wintertime. But the flakies really, like, that is the component that just wins in this polish, in my opinion. They are super like reflective, meaning like there's so much light that's brought in to the polish from the flakies. I love how the colors of the flakies are similar tone to our base, because it adds a lot of dimension, but we can thoroughly see, you know, the differences, right? We can see that it's an aqua and that it's a cyan, and then we see some of the purple, but it's such a pretty shade, and I definitely need to wear this one again soon. Or actually no, because I swatched it, so I don't count that as wearing. I need to wear it as a mani soon. Pictured are 2 coats of Rain Dance Lacquer Third Eye with a glossy top coat. Victorian Varnish is bringing us Prince of Darkness, priced at $14 and capped at 150 bottles. The inspiration behind this is Ozzy Osbourne's tribute album. It's described as a black base with intense purple to red aurora shimmer and silver reflective. So you see the first coat, we get a really pretty wash of color on the nail. On the second coat, we start building it up. And then I did ultimately decide to do one more coat just to fill in any patches that I had, and I was so happy with that. I got this super pretty glowy purple. Now this is going to dry down textured, so you're going to want to use a thick glossy top coat or glitter smoother than a glossy top coat, so just keep that in mind. But the velvety goodness that this is giving off is like all the vibes. The silver reflective glitter, it's like just enough to give a sparkle in like every direction. Reflective glitter is one of my favorite components, not because of the flash effect that you get, but because it literally will twinkle in any lighting. It could be like trash lighting and your nails are going to sparkle, and that's what I really love about it. It is worth the difficult removal. To me, honestly, it's not that difficult. I just soak a cotton pad, use the clips, put it on my nails, like do 5 at a time, boom, done. It's worth it for me because it always looks so dazzling and so like a fairy tale fantasy night sky. That's what reflective glitter reminds me of. This polish is beautiful. I love the really beautiful velvety effect that I see here. Pictured are 3 coats of Victorian Varnish, Prince of Darkness with a glossy top coat. Zombie Claw is bringing us Rotten, priced at $13.75 and kept at $50. It's described as a glitter base that's filled with black and green hollow blend of glitters and violet reflective glitters. So, can you use this as a topper? Yes, you absolutely can. But I'm showing it built up in 3 coats because I think it is lovely that way. 3 coats, I got this really beautiful, like sparkly look. I see a lot of green on my nails for like the base color. I know it's more like a clear color, but because of all of the glitters and all of them blending together, I feel like our base color is like this really like foresty green, right? Can you see that? Can you see like a forest green sort of wash across the nail? I can. And then all the beautiful glitters, we're seeing purple and pink and red, violet. Definitely we see the green. And then the violet reflective glitters, I feel like we get glimpses of them as I move my hand around. What I'm seeing most of is that color green. And maybe that's why our base is looking a little more tinted, because of those reflective glitters. Now, if you decide to wear this on its own, build up in 2 or 3 coats, definitely use a glitter smoother and then a glossy top coat or a thick glossy top coat. Pictured are 3 coats of Zombie Claw Rotten with a glossy top coat. Okay, everybody, favorites. I don't have the polishes in front of me, so I will be looking at my phone. So that's why I'm looking down. The first one, Rain Dance Lacquer, and it's called Schism. I think I'm saying that right, but it's this like beautiful, and I'll put a picture up here so you guys can see, but it's this beautiful shade of like antique gold, yellowy tones. I'm not going to say peach, maybe a little bit with like the shift. Hollow flakes, I'm a sucker for hollow flakes, but I love it because the base color is so like warm and fiery, but then the shifts are so much darker and mysterious. And I think this makes for a beautiful wintertime polish, not your typical wintertime polish where you think of like vampy darker shades, but I think it's still very seasonally appropriate for winter. I don't know, like I would wear this in the wintertime. I think it's beautiful. I really enjoyed the cracked polish 7-string Viper. Didn't think that I was going to, because pinks in me, it has to be the right tone of pink.
But I love this because it gives me like dusty vibes. And again, with like the brighter base and then just like the darker shifts. I don't know, it just feels so warm and cozy. I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's like this in between like velvety, creamy polish. Like it has that like velvety look. It's beautiful. And then I really enjoyed the BCB Lacquers. It is just like this really dark, vampy, typical like wintertime polish. I've been craving a lot of cream polishes, and maybe just because like I swatch so many indies that I'm just like, I just want to wear a cream. I don't know what it is. Like I've just been wanting to wear a lot of creams, and not that this is a cream obviously, but it gives you that sort of cream vibe in my opinion. But then it has this beautiful shimmer running throughout. It's almost like fire, like a fire dying, right? Like, you know, when you are outside, campfire, and now it's like dwindling down. It's like the last bits of like ember, like meshed up with all like the wood and the darkness. Like just imagine like a dark night, right? Now, obviously not as vibrant as those embers, but it's just like the shimmer that's like in between the layers of the polish. They're there, but they're just like flickering. I don't know. It's just beautiful. So it gives me like the cream vibes that I want, but still with the indie love that I love. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know what you plan on picking up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.